So it all boils down to this, folks. One game to rule it all. It is the final game of the EFL Championship season with, of course, we know the top two. They're destined for the Premier League. We know two of the relegation sides that will be playing League One football next season. But what about the last remaining relegation spot? And what about the playoffs? It's all on the line. And we're all going to come at you to take a look at the final game. And we're going to do it live. And we're going to do it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video today. We're live, taking a look at the final game of the EFL Championship season, where, of course, it's a crazy old week for, I think, 5 clubs in the mix for 2 remaining playoff spots. We'll take a look at that, of course, and also the race for the drop zone. Goodness gracious me, what a way to end the season. Of course, forget the Premier League, forget the FA Cup, forget the Champions League. It's all about the Championship, and we'll get to it in a second. Of course, if you're new, where the hell have you been? Smash your subscribe button, one-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers, Championship, world football. We're going to all hear under one roof. I'm going to give you my predictions hot, live. Drop yours in the chat as well as we go over game by bloody game. Again, big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons. We are live, so let's do this, shall we? Of course, I've been thinking about it long and hard, following on from last night's matches. Last night's match, should we say. Big one it was. So these were the results last time around. Let's go through them one by one. Starting off with Sheffield United's 2-0 win over Stoke City. I did go with a draw on that one. I tried to believe in your Potters, but you let me down. Meanwhile, Luton Town, what a game. What a thriller. Oh, my Lord. It's put a right on mixer here, hasn't it? What a calamity that goal was. But Luton Town saved for the time being. Coventry right in the shitter. Burnley with a 5-0 win over QPR. I went with a 2-0 win myself. Rovers with a 2-1 win over Watford. I went with a 2-0 win. Cardiff are down there, out. 0-0 draw against West Brom. Derby with a monumental win over Hull City. I went the other way. Borough couldn't get over the line against Norwich. 0-0 draw it was at the Riverside. Millwall continue to do Millwall things. 1-0 win over Swansea. I went with a 2-0 win. Oxford with a monumental win over Sunderland, who have hit the skids of late with form, which could be a bad thing heading into those playoffs. Meanwhile, Plymouth did beat Preston. I went with a 1-0. It was a 2-1 win. Sheffield Wednesday did draw with Pompey, and Leeds put 4 past Bristol City. Wow. So I did okay on those predictions, and typically this is where I'd show you the Super Brew and all that. We're not going to do that. We're going to save that till the playoff round. But this is the table as we enter it, of course, all on 45 games, and it all boils down to this, of course. It is a race for these top 2, these 2 spots in the playoffs. It's 5th and 6th up for grabs. Millwall, Rovers, and Middlesbrough all in it. And it is going down to the wire. Meanwhile, also going down to the wire is Hull City. They're in the drop zone right now. Plymouth are toast, realistically. I don't see them getting out of this. This would be the greatest escapes of all escapes, but realistically, it ain't going to happen. So we know those 2 are down. But who will go down? It's anybody from 18th downwards. And it really is madness. But it can also be pretty bog standard and pretty basic. A defeat for Hull, a win for Bristol City, and a win for Coventry. And it's boring. We don't want that. We want a bit of drama, don't we? We want a bit of drama on the final day. So we're going to get you some drama, and we're going to come at you right here, right now. The Super Brew is live. Don't forget, keep on predicting to the bitter end. We'll be there. And I'll showcase you those in the playoff round when they come back at you early next week. Goodness gracious me, it's coming at you. But these are the games now coming at you. I've rejigged the order here, not as it was on paper. So I've kind of put the bog standard boring games first and then the meaty ones towards the bottom, including my very own Sheffield United against Rovers. That's last. So I'm going to drag this sucker out. So we're going to start with the boring games that don't have much on the line. I'm going to start with Norwich against Cardiff. All kicking off, of course, on May the 3rd. Be with you. That's right. Early kickoff. 7:30 for me in the US of A, 12:30 for you guys in the UK. So I heard a lot of Rovers fans trying to get tickets for Sheffield United. It seems to be a very, very like rocking or shit to get one of those. But anyway, let's do this. Norwich against Cardiff. It's Jack Wilshere in the dugout. 14th for the table, 54 points for the season. Winless in the last 6. I think it's Cardiff and Aaron Ramsey. It is player manager up against player manager. You would kind of anyway. Winless though in the last 6 for Cardiff as well. They will be playing League One football. They were the first team to officially go down. Confirmed. Bit of a weird one, that one. So they're replacing Wrexham. Wrexham, the second Welsh team now in this division, and they will be the Welsh team in League One. Anyway, they played 28 times since 2003. 16 wins, Norwich. We've got 9 wins. Cardiff. We have 3 draws between the two sides. Last time around, over at in Carrow Road, it was a 4-1 win for Norwich way back in February 2024. Norwich, though, on the back of that 0-0 draw against Borough. Cardiff also on the back of a 0-0 draw against West Bromwich Albion. The odds for this one, though, West Brom are fancied with Jack Wilshere in the dugout. They're, of course, bookies' favourites. We've got a couple of cheeky predictions in the house. We've got a 2-0 win for Norwich here by Leeds 2025. We've got Master Craney gaming with a 2-1 win as well for Norwich. I think I'm also leaning towards a Norwich victory as well. 3-0 win on the night. Jack Wilshere coming at it with an unbeaten run, it looks like. So maybe throwing his hat in the ring. I just saw just now a name that was linked with the Norwich job, but again, I think it's Gary O'Neill is hotly tipped to be the next Norwich manager. Meanwhile, we'll go to Plymouth. That's right, against Leeds. Technically, there's stuff on the line here, and maybe I should have put this game down into the ones for consideration. But a win for Leeds will put them as title winners. Wow, wow, wee, wow. They're up against Plymouth, of course, mathematically could save themselves, but they need a ridiculous scoreline. But they're taking out, it's like mission impossible. They're 23rd, 46 points for the season. They've won 4 of the last 6. Good bit of form, though, for Plymouth heading into, of course, postseason. Leeds, though, tremendous form. 5 wins on the spin. Did us a massive favour against Bristol City just yesterday. They played 11 times since 2004. They've not won, have Plymouth. There's been 9 wins for Leeds, and there's been 2 draws for between the two sides. Last time around, over at Plymouth, it was a 2-0 for Leeds back in February 2024. The reverse fixture, a 3-0 win for Leeds back in November. Plymouth, though, on the back of back-to-back wins, beating Coventry and then beating Preston on the road. Excuse me, live TV. Leeds on the back of that 4-0 win over Bristol City. They scored 10 in the last 2 games combined. The bookies' odds will back Leeds. Of course, they would readily so. We've got predictions in the house. We've got not that one. We've got this one. It is Leeds 4-0 winners by Leeds, of course. James FC going with a 2-2 draw. And then Master Craney Gaming has gone with a 1-1 draw, which really doesn't do much for their title hopes, of course. I've gone with a 3-0 win, Leeds. The shackles are off and they'll be in party mood. They want to be record breakers, of course. Meanwhile, Sunderland, they're taking on QPR, coming at you, Sunderland, in the playoffs. But they've hit a right bit about bad form right now. They've actually lost 4 on the bounce, and that, of course, could be contagious heading into 2 monumental games in the playoffs. They sit 4th, 76 points for the season, up against QPR and Martin Kofientis. Now, the rumour has it Martin Kofientis could be off to West Bromwich Albion next season, but they're coming into this on back-to-back defeats, though. Coming into this, though, also played each other 23 times since 1997, 11 wins for Sunderland, 4 wins QPR, 8 draws between the two sides, including back-to-back 0-0s, of course. 0-0 at Sunderland last time they played in March 2024, also 0-0 at Loftus Road back in November 2024. QPR, though, on the back of that 5-0 stuffing by Burnley, it's actually been back-to-back home games for QPR. This is their first game on the road since they won, actually. They beat Preston back then. Sunderland, though, haven't scored in the last 2, just 1 goal in the last 5 games. My, they are in a bit of bad form right now. The bookies' odds for this one, and I think whoever takes on Sunderland in the playoffs will fancy their chances right now. Sunderland are favoured still at the Stadium of Light. We've got some picks in the house. We've got a 1-0 win here from Leeds 2025 for Sunderland. We've got Scott Bentley coming in here. Oh, he's peaked too soon. He's gone with the Rovers, and we'll get to that one shortly. Master Craney game with a 1-0 win for the Sunderland as well. Form is not with them, but I'm going with a 2-0 win for Sunderland to maybe just get some form at the right time. Let's go to Wales then, shall we? Swansea. If the season was 1 or 2 games longer, Swansea would be in the playoffs spots, you would imagine. Coming up against the Gary Rowett side, who will be here next season. Oxford, tremendous job for them. Of course, many pundits' prediction to go down at the start of the season. Swansea also was tipped to go to struggle, but they're here. They're 11th, and they're coming into this on 83% form. They've won 5 of the last 6, but they're coming into this on the back of a defeat. Oxford, though, on the flip side, coming into this on the back of a win on 58% form. They're 6th, 17th right now. They played Swansea 9 times in 2003, 4 wins apiece and 1 draw. That's right. Last time around, over at Swansea in Wales, it was a 1-0 win for Swansea way back, a long time ago, back in April 2005. The reverse fixture at the Kazan was a 2-1 win for Swansea back in November. Oxford, though, picking up a 2-0 win over Sunderland most recently. Swansea losing to Millwall. Again, a win could have kept them in that discussion for another week, but it's not. The bookies will back Swansea, of course. Alan Sheehan's boys on this one. I've gone Leeds 2025, maybe with a draw. I don't know if I jumped too soon on that one. We've also got a 2-0 win here for James FC for the Swans. Master Crane Gaming also with a 2-0 win as well for the home side. I'm also going with a 2-0 win. That's right. You've read my notes. 2-0 winners, and Swansea keeping the heat and ending the season strongly. Will he be given the job full-time basis, or will they go for a punt? Maybe Russell Martin, of course, going back out there. Stevie Cooper also available. Maybe they'll go back from one of their old coaches who gave them some good stuff last time. Let's go to Watford up against Sheffield Wednesday at Vicarage Road, of course. Watford under Tom Cleverley, 13th of the table, 56 points for the season. They've lost 5 of the last 6. Up against Wednesday and Danny Roll. Again, a coach who could be on the move. Southampton, maybe. Leicester, maybe. Or maybe Middlesbrough, maybe. West Brom, who knows. But anyway, Danny Roll could be on the move. Just one win the last 6. They sit 12th, 57 points, of course. A win for Watford could see them leapfrog Sheffield Wednesday above them in the table. They played 27 times since 1999. 15 wins Watford, 5 wins Wednesday. There's been 7 draws between the two sides. Last time around at Vicarage Road, it was a 1-0 win for Watford. That was back in October 2023. In fact, Watford are unbeaten against Sheffield Wednesday over the last 6. They picked up 3 wins and 3 draws, including a 6-2 win this season at Hillsborough way back in November. What are we looking at? Watford on the back of that 2-1 loss to Rovers. Wednesday on the back of that 1-1 draw against Portsmouth. They are actually unbeaten in the last 2 on Wednesday. But coming into this, the bookies back Wednesday. They do, but the guys in the chat, we're going to go with a 2-1 win Wednesday. That's Master Creating Gaming. We've got a 2-1 win as well Wednesday by Leeds 2025, of course. Could this be a fond farewell for Danny Roll and Sheffield Wednesday? Gone with a 1-0 win. Wow. For Watford, that's right. Let's go to West Brom against Luton. Now we're getting into the meat of the pie here, the real results that are going to shape or break the championship season. We're going to go West Brom under James Morrison, taking over from Tony Mowbray for the time being. They sit 10th right now, 61 points for the season, just 1 win in the last 6. Up against Luton Town under Matt Bloomfield, 3 wins on the bounce. They sit 21st. They are just above the drop zone right here. I played West Brom 16 times since 1994. 8 wins for West Brom, 3 wins Luton. There's been 5 draws between the two sides. Last time around, at this very venue, at the Hawthorns, it was a 0-0 draw. That might not be good enough for Luton this time around. Back in October 2022, the reverse fixture at Kenilworth Road was a 1-1 draw. Goodness gracious me. West Brom on the back of that 0-0 draw against Cardiff. Luton on the back of that 1-0 win over Coventry. Back-to-back home wins. They've also won against Derby when they were last time on the road. The bookies are backing them to win as well over a toothless West Bromwich Albion. Luton, 1-0 winners. That's Leeds 2025. Master Craney Games going with a 1-1 draw for this one. All lying on this one then. A win for Luton. We'll keep them in the Flynn. And of course, open up a can of worms for them beneath them. Going to go with a 2-1 win. Luton winning it. They are safe. They are safe. Get calculators out. They are safe. Portsmouth against Hull City. Let's go to Fratton Park, of course. Portsmouth on the beach now. They'll be back next season. Happy to see them back, of course. Always a crazy venue, crazy fans, and of course deserve much more than that. They're coming into 16th at the table, 53 points for the season, unbeaten in the last 4. Up against Hull, Ruben Selles swapped Reading, who are just outside the playoffs in League One, for Hull, who are now in the drop zone heading into the final day. They are 22nd, 48 points for the season. They played Portsmouth 11 times since 2008. 4 wins Pompey, 3 wins Hull, 4 draws between the two sides, including the reverse fixture at the MKM back in November 2024. But the last time they played at Fratton Park was back in January 2021. Hull coming out on top with a 4-0 win. A replay of that scoreline would see Hull safe, I believe. Or it actually depends on what else goes on elsewhere. But Hull on the back of that 1-0 loss to Derby. Their last away match was a 1-0 loss to Swansea. Portsmouth, of course, back on a 1-1 draw against Sheffield Wednesday. Last home match was a 1-0 win over Watford. The odds for this one, though, looking at it right here and now for the bookies, Hull are actually favoured for the victory here. I don't see why, but I guess Portsmouth got nothing to play for, but Portsmouth at home can make it a real awkward place to be. We've got James FC with a 1-0 win over for Hull. We got Leeds also with the same scoreline. 1-0 win for Hull. Master Creating Game also back in Hull to win over Pompey. You guys are crazy. You guys are killing me. I'm also back in Hull City. Of course I am. 2-0 winners over Portsmouth. That's right. Then we go to a real spicy one. It's Bristol City. It's Preston off. And I don't know how I've laid this out here. It might all be over. It might be a big reveal here that reveals it all. It is Bristol City. It's Preston. It's coming at you over at Ashton Gate. That's right. Bristol City on the back of a bit of a heavy stuffing by Leeds. A win and they're in. That's all it matters here for Bristol City. They're taking on the Preston North End side who are in free fall. Goodness gracious me. Bristol City 5th, 67 points, back-to-back defeats for them up against Preston who have lost 4 on the spin but winless in the last 8. They sit 20th. 31 times they've played since 2007. They've won 11 of them. Bristol City won 7 of them. Has been 13 draws. A draw might not be enough for either of these two sides in their quest for whatever is needed. But last time they played at Thrashton Gate, it was a 1-1 draw way back in August 2023. The reverse fixture at Deepdale was a 3-1 win for Bristol City. Goodness gracious me. Bristol City, though, on the back of a 4-0 loss to Leeds. They've conceded 7 goals in the last 2. But last time they were at home, they won, and it was against Sunderland. Preston, though, on the back of the 2-1 loss to Plymouth. Their last victory was a long, long time ago. The bookies' odds for this one, it is Bristol City. They are heavily favoured, heavily backed by this one. We've got a Clay Clothing with a 1-0 win for the North End. We've got Leeds 2025 with a 2-0 win for Bristol City. We've got James BCFC with a 1-1 draw. Oh, wow. Master Craning Gaming has gone with a 3-2 win. And Preston are in trouble. What have I gone with? I've gone with a 1-1 draw. What does that mean? I don't know. Get your calculators out. It could be absolute bedlam at the foot of the table. Burnley, they're taking on Millwall, of course, for the quest for the title, but it looks like it might be too little too late. They're taking on Millwall, but they don't know. They don't know what's going on at Plymouth for this game, so it's all at the same time. They'll have to be at their very best. Anyway, Scott Parker's Burnley's second, 97 points. They want to break 100 up against Millwall and Alex Neil. He wants to get into the playoffs, but they are on ridiculously good form on Millwall. They won 5 of the last 6. The only hiccup was the defeat against Blackburn Rovers. They played They played Burnley 25 times since 1994. 9 wins Burnley, 7 wins Millwall, 9 draws. It is, of course, the Zian Fleming derby. Of course, he cannot play against his parent club. But a win for Millwall, they could be in it. Last time they played at Turdmore was a 2-0 win for Burnley away back in August 2022. The reverse fixture at the Den was a 1-0 win for Millwall. Goodness gracious me. In fact, Millwall are back-to-back games unbeaten against Burnley, but both those games were in London. Burnley on the back of that 5-0 win over QPR. They scored 9 goals in the last 3 games combined. Millwall, though, on the back of that 1-0 win over Swansea. Their last away match was a trip up to Lancashire, and they got stuffed 4-1. I'd like a bit of that, please. Burnley massively fancy with the bookies on this one. We got draws galore here. What does that do? There's a draw, break hearts. We've got draws here, draws there, draws every bloody way. Oh, you guys are going for draws. Why are you going for draws here? Surely Burnley are going to win this one. I've gone with a 3-0 win. Oh, yes, to put the heat on Leeds. I don't know why you guys are going to draw. That's madness. It's the final 3 now. It is, of course, the Ding Dong Classic Coventry up against Middlesbrough. What does that mean? Well, it is all on the line. Win, and you're probably in. That's right. The Rico Arena, the RCA. Coventry under Frank Lampard sits 6th right now. 66 points for the season, but back-to-back defeats up against Borough under Michael Carrick. Just 1 win. And that's why they sit 9th on 64 points. They played each other 30 times since 1995. 10 wins Coventry, 12 wins Borough. There's been 8 draws between these two sides. Last time around, over at this very venue, was a 3-0 win for Coventry. In fact, Coventry have won 4 on the spin against Borough. They've scored 10 goals against them in the last 4 matches. Goodness gracious me, that's right. Is there a scenario where both these two sides? I don't think there is, really, or is there? I don't know if there's a way that both these two sides can be in the top 6. I think if they win and Bristol, no, I don't know. Anyway, regardless, Coventry on the back of that 1-0 loss to Luton, back-to-back defeats for them, but both of those games were on the road. The last time they were at home, they beat a toothless West Bromwich Albion. Borough, though, on the back of that 0-0 draw against Norwich, their last away match, they lost to Sheffield Wednesday. The bookies' odds for this one, they go with Coventry, massively fancied on the bookies on this one. What have we got here? James Boots FC. He's gone with Leeds 2025 with a 2-1 win. Coventry, James Boots FC 3-1 win. Borough will bottle it. Master Craning Gaming also gone with a 2-1 win. Coventry taking it 90-minute winner. That's all very, very doable, very, very scriptable, and very, very plausible. I'm going with, on myself on this one, going to go with a 2-1 win. Coventry City, Middlesbrough out of it, and it looks like Coventry may be in it. Into the final couple is Derby Stoke. Now, is there a scenario here where it all hits the fan? Well, it's Derby up against Stoke at Pride Park. Derby under John Eustace, 50% form for them right now. They won 2, lost 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. They are 19th right now, 49 points. Up against Stoke under Mark Robbins, 50% form for them. 1, 2, lost 2, and drawn 2. They are 50th, 50 points right now, 18th in the table, and they played Derby 30 times since 1994. 14 wins Derby, 10 wins Stoke. 6 draws between the two sides. Now, the last time they played at Pride Park in competitive action, it was a 2-1 win for Derby way back in September 2021. The reverse fixture at the Bet365 was a 2-1 win for Stoke back in November. Looking at this one, Derby on the back of that 1-0 win away to Hull. They've just plucked them out of thin air. The last time they were at home, though, they did lose, didn't they, to Luton against the relegation team. Stoke, though, on the back of that 2-0 loss to Sheffield. They conceded 8 in the last 2. The wheels might have fallen off at the wrong time. Bookies odds for this one. What are we looking at? Derby, massively fancied for this one. We've got some Hawk boys going with a 2-1 win. Derby on this one. Leeds 2025 with a 1-0 win for Derby. Master Karen Gaining going with a 4-0 win for Derby under John Eustace ball. What have I gone on this one then, shall we? We're digging deep, thinking about it. The permutations on this one. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, a point apiece. Could it be safety? We'll see. We'll get the calculators out in just a second. And then we wrap it up with a small game at Bramall Lane. It is Sheffield United, Chris Wilder. It is Blackburn under Valérien Ismaël and Bramall Lane. 17 times they have played since 1993. 9 wins for Sheffield United, 5 wins for Rovers, 3 draws. Of course, Sheffield United coming into this third in the table, 89 points. They are the third best team in the division by a distance. They have had a 2-point deduction at the start of the season, and of course, but they've lost 4 of the last 6. Up against Rovers, coming into this 8th in the table, they're on 75% form of Rovers. Unbeaten the last 5, they won 4 on the spin. That's right. Coming into this though, the last time they played at where are we? Bramall Lane in the league. It was a 3-0 win for Sheffield United. It could be one of those, guys. It could be one of those. Earlier in the season, they picked up a 2-0 win at Ewood Park. That's right. Rovers have only won once in the last 5 against Sheffield United, and that was only by a 1-0 scoreline, of course. Sheffield United, though, on the back of a 2-0 win over Stoke, they bounced back there, of course. Blackburn, though, on the back of 5 games unbeaten, 4 wins on the bounce. Absolutely incredible stuff. The bookies odds on this one, they'll go with Sheffield United. They are, of course, hotly tipped. But let's talk about it a little second. They're into the playoffs. Are they going to risk it? They're up against the shithouse merchant that is Lewis Travis, who could get in there a little bit testy, a little bit nasty. Would you want to risk your Gustavo Hamers, your Coopers between the sticks, your key men? Surely you want to put them on the back burner for just one more game and don't want to get a suspension or an injury or something like that. You don't want to do. You want to risk it for a biscuit. You just want to take it easy and go into the playoffs with a little bit of momentum. You are the 3rd best team in the division, but maybe you just take the foot off the gas for 1 second, for 1 iota, for 1 little sliver of a chance. And then there's a corner, bounces off the face, or maybe even a scorpion kick-esque Dominic Hyam just tumbles into the back of the net, Luton-esque, like against Coventry, and that ball goes over the line. That's right. That's what we're talking. That's what we're hoping for. One of those instances, or maybe 2 of those instances, because what I'm about to show you is what I'm talking about. I'm going for it and sticking my head out on the line here, boys. I don't do this. I usually back the away side. I back the other side, but I'm being it. I'm going for it. Going with a 2-1 win for Rovers. And if you are a mathematician, just like I am, you would know what that means. If you look at all those other numbers, you will know what that means, guys. It's party mode. It's party in my pants mode. It's Blackburn Rovers making the top 6, boys and girls, by the skin of our teeth. Goal difference. That 4-0 stuffing on a Monday night against Bristol City. That's right, has put Blackburn Rovers into not the promised land, but of course a gateway to the promised land. And who knows? Imagine going into the Championship players, 5 wins on the spin, the form team out of nowhere, ridiculed, laughed at, pointed at. John Eustace left. Potentially they go down. The Nobbers go down. Who bloody knows? What a fantastic way to end the campaign for Blackburn Rovers. Whatever happens after this, who knows? Big Val's army is here. Big Val's army is coming for you. And do you be afraid, Sunderland. You be afraid, Sheffield United. The form team will be Blackburn Rovers heading into the playoffs. And who knows? All the cards are on the table. We know what's coming. The Rovers are coming. And I'm believing these boys. I'm backing the boys. Lewis Travis, be a shithouse. Yuki Ohashi, run your ass off. Go for goal. Go for broke. Callum Britton have the game of your life. Blasterstoff, I'm very worried about you, but hopefully you can have a game of your life as well. Do it, guys. Dom Hyam, Danny Bart at the back, solid. Do this. Keep a clean sheet. We get one chance. We take it. We win this game. We're bound for those playoffs. We are coming at you, top 6. We're coming at you live. Of course, we'll be back. Watch along. Coming at you this weekend. It'll be, if I had hair, there will be none at the end of it. It's all for broke. We're going to do this. You guys are amazing. Rover's going to snatch it at the death, and we're going to the playoffs, guys. We are going to the playoffs. Big Val, we trust. I believed in you from the get-go. Even when you hit the shits, I believed in you. You're going to do this. You're going to get us over the line. We're going to do this. And I don't know about the actual playoffs itself, but we'll get to the playoffs, and then we'll take it from there. I am out of here. You guys are amazing. Got to hit the office. I'm out of here. You guys, take it easy. See you soon. Saturday's going to be mental. I'm out of here.